don't know if you kind of just want to start by telling us what Black History Month means to you on a personal level.
Black History Month, I mean, it's bittersweet, really, because I think to have a month where it's dedicated to a group of people that's affected history all the way through it's kind of good that we can recognize that, but there shouldn't be 1 month. We should be celebrating it the whole year round, and celebrating everybody the whole year round, because we've all had our effect on history, and we've all had our positive and negative parts of history. So to have a Black History Month is good for the educational side of things, to educate other people. But sometimes I think, what's the need for it? Because we're all part of history, and I think we should all celebrate our history just as human beings.
In terms of the here and now, you're obviously involved in the coaching setup at Queen's Park Rangers. What does that role kind of entail for you?
Well, I have to bring through young talent. We've got lots of young talent, local, international talent at the football club, and we've got a great set of coaches. And like we say, with in terms of educating people, we've got I would say, the most diverse staff, coaching staff in the whole country, and it would rival anybody in Europe as well. If you look at the streets of West London, you would see that on our staff and in our boardroom. So we're really proud of that. My job is to make sure that we produce these young players and produce them, take them from level A to level B and pass them through to the first team, and hopefully they can go on and be stars, like Ibere Eze, like what Ilias Chair's doing now, like what Joe Lumley, Seni Dieng. We've had a lot of players who've come through. I've played my hand in getting those players to the level that they are, as well as other coaches at the club.
Was coaching something you always wanted to pursue, and the route you wanted to go down after playing?
Not really. It was something that when you play football, you don't see yourself ever retiring. I started off with Darren Moore down in Torquay, and we were kids, and we never ever saw ourselves as coaches. In fact, we used to hate coaches to a certain degree, because they used to make us run, and they used to make us do things we didn't want to do and stay in. But as you get older, you start thinking, well, I could impart some of my knowledge onto the kids and give something back. And that's the reason why I coach. I want to help people to get better, and I'd like to help people achieve a lot more, and throughout their football careers. And my career, if one part of my career can help them do that, then yeah, brilliant.
I mean, going back to the start of your career and your playing days, obviously among some of your EFL highlights was that promotion with Walsall. I mean, how does that season rank in your career?
Oh, very highly. I mean, anytime you win and achieve something, especially on an occasion like the playoff final at the Millennium Stadium, it's huge. So I really do think that it's a high point in my career. I've had a lot of high points, and that is one of them, because not many people are ever going to get the chance to be winners as footballers. We all compete, and we all spend, there's a lot of us that spend a lot of years in the game without winning anything. Getting promotion, we just ordinarily achieve, and to achieve something like that, it made it special. There was people who you'll never ever forget, because they achieved, you cried and you laughed and you sweated and you shed blood with those guys. So yeah, it was excellent. So it's very much a high point.
I know you're involved in the playoffs with Rushden Diamonds as well, and it wasn't necessarily the result you wanted, but you scored that amazing goal from the kickoff. I mean, what was going through your head when you just picked up the ball and ran with it?
Well, it was just, I mean, the game before, it was Rochdale, and we'd almost got knocked out of the cup because we went 1-0 down away from home. And straight away, I went down the other end and scored again in the previous game. And it must have been that in my head, with the resilience and the character to be able to just hit back straight away. By the time the ball went into the goal, my goal at the Millennium Stadium, Martin Devaney had scored 30 seconds before. So we had to pick the ball out the net, we had to kick off, and then I went straight through and just scored. And it was an unbelievable experience. It was just everything aligned, and the seas just opened up for me. And I I wasn't just asking two questions. I was just going to go straight through, and I chipped it over the keeper, and it just all opened up for me. And you know, I tried many times to do it again, and it didn't really work that way. But it was life, and those moments have come once in a lifetime. And I was lucky enough to be able to take advantage of that moment.
You obviously had an international career as well. You played in World Cups. I mean, was it always in the back of your mind that you could represent Jamaica? Was that always something that you considered, or?
I'm actually quoted when I'm about 17 that I wanted to play in the World Cup. And when I put that in the paper, oh my word, the pros at the football club, you're not going to the World Cup. You're at Torquay United, son. And I'm thinking, you know, but it was an aim and it was something. So I did verbalise it. And then probably around, you know, 9-10 years later, I'm actually playing in France at the World Cup against Croatia, Japan, and Argentina. So it was something that I really wanted to achieve, and I managed to achieve it. And you know, when you're a young player, a boy or a girl, you imagine yourself playing at Wembley Stadium or in the World Cup or in the FA Cup final, and you know, or playing at the World Cup finals, and it was just a dream come true, especially from where I started down in lowly Torquay.
I suppose coming full circle, and a nice way to finish off is obviously the football Blacklist recognition. I mean, that must have been a nice achievement for you.
Fantastic. I mean, like I say, it's unbelievable to be recognised and to be held in such esteem with such great names as well. That's one of the other things. To be recognised as a coach or somebody in football who's going to get an award for coaching and management and football. It doesn't happen every day, and I think it's to be celebrated. And I've had a lot of people ringing me up, asking me, you know, what do I feel about it? And I'm really proud, you know, for myself, for my family, for my football club, you know, and for my country. And I really just am happy to receive it, and it's something that I really am proud of, and hopefully I can continue. But you know, without QPR, I wouldn't be able to have been put on this stage to be able to be successful in my coaching career. A lot of people who win these awards come out of the Premier League and the top leagues around the world and Europe, and we come out of the EFL, and we're really proud of that. And to be, like I said, to be held in such high esteem with such big names and noticeable names is an achievement for both myself, my family, and my friends around me, and the coaches around me. Without them, I wouldn't have been able to even receive this award or be nominated.